I'm taking from it is that there's no right and wrong way to grieve.
And suicide.
Yeah.
I remember like when my mom was over, we went to the Cliffs of Moher and I said, that's it, I'm done. And I look back and I saw my mom and I said, I can't do that with that woman. She can't go through the same pain going. And I think if I didn't have my mom that day with us, I wouldn't be here like to tell this story. And I feel so lucky that I have Tomas by my side and have the family we have and the friends we have. When people comes and say, oh, that's your third child, isn't it? And say, yeah, that's my third child.
We like when people bring her up. Like, you know, people...
It's so important.
People are afraid to bring her up. And that's another thing, you know, I tell other people, just don't be afraid to mention the kid because they existed.
What's right and what's not right.
Yeah.
I understand
what's okay for some people, and like the more you talk about it, the more you familiarize yourself with it, and the more you get to live in a kind of like a positive environment, and there's no stigma about talking about it. I've said it a million times in this podcast, but Carl Rogers always says what's most personal is most universal, and what that means is when you share something you've been through, you'll be so surprised about the amount of people that have been through it themselves or have been in a vulnerable situation that they're able to share their learnings. I do think if you guys just take a second and look in the mirror when you go home, I think you should pat yourselves on the back for the openness and for being brave enough to be vulnerable on this podcast, but more importantly with people in your everyday life to share your story and to what's beautiful is that every time you talk about it, there's an emotion that still comes through because it's so important. I feel that your story will help so many people. What I'm taking from it is that there's no right and wrong way to grieve. There's just the way you know. But what does help is speaking and talking about it.